He is Brooke Shields' favorite heartthrob. He says she's his unpaid press agent, but anyway, he's also Sigourney Weaver's protector. Michael Biehn achieved wide notice for his performance as the hero in the movie The Terminator. He followed that with 2 television portrayals as a racist cop on a 3-part Hill Street Blues, and as a schizophrenic doctor in the television miniseries Deadly Intentions. Currently, he's starring in Aliens, the sequel to the 1979 film Alien. In the movie, he plays Sigourney Weaver's love interest and comrade in arms involved in the battle against the vicious outer space aliens. Before we talk with Michael Biehn, here's a scene from the film.
Hey, I want to introduce you to a personal friend of mine. This is an M41A pulse rifle, 10 millimeter, an over and under 30 millimeter pump-action grenade launcher. Feel the weight.
Okay, what do I do?
Okay, pull it in tight here.
Right.
Lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, out will kick some. All right, when the counter reads 0 here, you...
And press this up?
That's right. And get another one in quick. Slap it in hard.
Right.
You're ready to rock and roll.
What's this?
That's a grenade launcher. I don't think you want to mess with that.
You started this. Show me everything. I can handle myself.
Yeah, I noticed.
Welcome to Live at 5, Michael. I was curious about the weight of that gun.
Yeah, it was heavy. Actually, these pulse rifles that were used for the show were about 65 pounds, which is heavier than, you know, normal rifles. And when you're using them take after take after take, well, Jim Cameron would, you know, actually it was rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal, and then a few takes, carrying it around all day long. It was really physically a very, very, very tough.
I must say, Sigourney must be in great shape if she carried this thing through the
I'll
movie.
tell you, she had a tougher road to go than any of us, because she's in the end of a movie like a lot of us aren't. And she has a big fight at the end, and yeah, she really, really had it tough.
You mentioned Jim Cameron. He is the director of the film. He also wrote and directed The Terminator.
Right.
He co-wrote Rambo. Does this tell us that the sequel to Alien is quite a different film?
Well, you know, when he co-wrote Rambo along with Stallone, and I think that Cameron would tell you that most of what ended up on the screen is what Stallone wrote. I think The Terminator and Aliens are similar, that I think that they both have got very strong stories, and at the same time are very good action movies. It's not very often that you get an action movie that's got a real strong story like The Terminator did, and again with Aliens, it's a really good story with a lot of integrity, and I just can't tell you how talented this Jim Cameron is. He's young, 30, 31 years old, and this is the most exciting movie that I've ever seen. I watched it with an audience, and they just went nuts, and I can see why. They cheered, and they laughed, and they screamed, and it scared everybody to death, and they all clapped at the end, and it's just really amazing to watch the audience participation with the movie.
It's nice to see that the reviewers are as enthusiastic about this film as you are. For one, Pia said it's the best of this kind that she's ever seen. I wonder, should the special effects people share star billing on this one?
Well, yeah, the special effects are excellent on it. Towards the end of the movie, when things are breaking up, there's just some amazing stuff. Really, really good special effects. But again, being an actor, I like to emphasize that there's a good story, and I think it's well acted and well directed from that standpoint. It's not just a science fiction movie. It's not just a special effects movie. It's a good story.
Well, it's mentioned in the things that are written about it that the director doesn't seem to be out so much to scare people as he is to have you identify with the characters, and so that he sets up situations, and by the time the situation comes, I mean, you're really ready for it.
Yeah. It's like the first Alien was sort of like a walk down a dark alley. Slowly, you know, something's out there, and you think that maybe something, and that's where the scare comes from. This is like a roller coaster ride in a fun house. Things are just, you know, breaking all over the place.
Previously, you've talked about wear and tear on you in other films, both physically and mentally. I wonder where this film falls in. I mean, the wear and tear, is it more physically?
This was a very physical film for me, you know. From an acting standpoint, I wasn't as stretched as much in this film as I have been in other roles that I've played. I played a lot of psychotic characters, one in particular, Deadly Intentions, where it was pretty tough to shoot. It was pretty tough emotionally on me because I took it on a real short notice, and I was really had to research and play this character who was really out to lunch.
And so your wife and your 2 children had to excuse you for a couple of months.
For a few months, that's
for
right.
A few months.
Yeah.
But this one, you had to carry around a lot of stuff, and at the end you were just whipped.
Yeah, absolutely whipped.
Well, the work seems to be to have paid off, and I'm pleased that you came by to say hello to us for a few seconds.
Listen, I just got dropped off here. Was there any news on the royal wedding?
Well, we had a word or two.
Okay.
And we probably have some more. Who knows?
Okay, well, I'll get a
Thanks,
transcript.
Michael. Okay. Jack.
Very good. All right, Len Berman will be out here in a couple of minutes.